Hi guys. I'm Abdullah. I'm one of the founders and CEO of Jarvis Digital, and this is.
Hi guys, I am Abu Yousuf. I am the MD of Jarvis Digital, which means I'm also one of its founders. We met for the first time in Scholastica when we were in school. This was class 7, and since then we have been great friends. We have been part of the same circle. We have been part of the same cricket team. We have been playing pranks on the same person for the longest time. We still keep on doing that. And we always had a knack for the creative side of life, creative things, whatever, however you want to describe it. And that passion for creativity, and eventually ended up, us joining forces and creating Jarvis Digital in the year 2014, November 2014. But we are not the only partners. We have 3 other partners with us, which makes it a total of 5 partners. I hope that we are able to survive for 60 more years. That is always the ambition. That has always been the ambition, and let's hope that happens.
Well, obviously, it comes as the name Jarvis comes as no surprise with sitting as with one of the co-founders of Comic Con, right? So he's a comic geek, and he's into all Marvel and DC comics as well.
Yeah.
So obviously, big influence from there. And personally, one of my favorite superheroes from the Marvel line is obviously Iron Man, and I loved for me the name Jarvis was always the right option, because I always imagined how, if I wish I had a digital assistant like how Tony Stark had someone like Jarvis running all the errands or helping him out and all the tactical solutions and everything. So that's how we felt that Jarvis was kind of the right name to be in the market. And obviously, with a young team and young co-founders, all of us, we felt that this would give us that youthful edge, and it would be something that which would be in the mind of easier to get in the minds of our clients as well, or our prospective clients as well, because it's somewhat of a different name. You don't hear this name quite often. That Jarvis, okay. So it helped us in that aspect, that when we were going into our initial client pitches and everything, I think that name gave us a bit of an edge. People were asking, what does this mean? Who's Jarvis? And plus, even those who did see Iron Man, they were easily recognizing, you guys are Iron Man fans, or we had a common discussing point to get the ice breaking and everything. So yeah, it was a pretty obvious choice for us to go ahead with Jarvis.
Abdullah, you would remember that after we kept the name Jarvis, 5 months later, Avengers: Age of Ultron was released, and then Jarvis just died. Jarvis died, and then Vision was born. Yeah. So that was quite funny, but yeah, the idea of having this name was, pretty much influenced by pop culture. Now, coming to pop culture, Abdullah, I'm sure you have noticed that pop culture has had a big impact on technology, or our homes, or our lives, and everywhere. And it's no longer a source of entertainment, just a source of entertainment. I mean, it has helped us enhance our lives in different ways, if I'm not wrong. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, those the shows or the books or the movies that we used to see growing up, those definitely has had a subconscious effect on us, on the way, on what we are, what we think, and I think that's definitely one of the aspects, if you come to think of it, of the good and the difference between the good and the evil, even. I mean, caring for the earth, like even watching those Captain Planet, in the 90s, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, caring about animals, caring about earth. right? Those were
Hmm.
messages which we got on a in a subliminal level, sort of.
Hmm.
Similarly,
Hmm.
these comic books, when they talked about like Jarvis, or when they talked about
Hmm.
Iron Man, or these different sci-fi things, those were
Hmm.
almost like a dream back then,
Hmm.
which was almost impossible.
I
Okay, I
mean,
mean, even when
look at
the
the way we are communicating right now. Look at the way
yeah,
we're
yeah,
communicating. I mean, even 10 years back, we wouldn't have thought
this
of
is
this.
out of Star Trek, right? This is almost
Star
like out
Trek,
of
yeah,
Star Trek.
Star Trek, or
Yeah,
you say Star Wars, or even
Star
Batman
Wars. Yeah,
communicating with
yeah,
Alfred
yeah,
from
yeah,
his
yeah,
Batcave or
absolutely,
something.
absolutely.
We could
Yeah,
have never
yeah.
thought of
I
something
think
like this, and this is happening.
yeah, yeah. I think because it broadens our imagination. I think that's a
Hmm.
very important role which comic books, which we
Hmm.
often just take for the entertainment value. I mean, when we are watching
Yeah.
it or reading it, I'm sure we don't read
Hmm.
it with the intention of we learn something scientific
No,
from
no.
it, but it just that
Hmm.
opens up the imagination. That I mean,
Huh.
for us, even when we started Jarvis, just we didn't
Hmm.
think that we'll go into AI or AI
Hmm.
technology or
Hmm.
such
Hmm.
high tech or fancy things. It was just the fact,
Hmm.
oh, Jarvis is the digital assistant, so we just go into this. And
Hmm.
now, when we think, okay, when we are trying to be true to the name of the company or to the brand, we try to
Hmm.
think what are the different aspects
Hmm.
of Jarvis, and then we see, oh, okay, he worked on AI as well. He was the digital assistant. He got things done, and so
Hmm.
that helps us
Hmm.
imagining and going bigger. And I think that influence of pop culture also tied in very nicely with the culture that we tried to build as well. One of the things that we
Hmm.
tried to do is we believe we are the spaceship, right? So we are the digital
Yeah.
spaceship of
Hmm.
different
Hmm.
clients. We believe that we
Hmm.
take the clients through the rough,
To new
milky ways
frontiers. When we're
to
like Star Trek.
frontiers.
We
Yeah,
are like the
yeah,
Enterprise. We are like Captain Kirk, Spock, and this entire team,
right,
and we are
right. So
taking our clients on a journey.
exactly, we believe we are space troopers. We call
Hmm.
ourselves the troopers as well. So I
Hmm.
think these ingrain this belief in us that we are here to
Hmm.
try something new. This encourages us to
Hmm.
try something new. Doesn't
Hmm.
this broadens our imagination and vision as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, definitely there's a lot of positive influence which from
Hmm.
comics or from pop culture as a whole. And I think that that's very important to realize, especially nowadays uh, when we are just the world around us is so dark and gloomy to a certain extent. I think
Hmm.
these things
Hmm.
help us think better, think bigger, and dream bigger as well. So yeah, I think
No, I think
that's very
even
important.
people from the current generation, current young
Mm.
generation, I mean, younger than us, they can also, go back and look at these animated
Yeah,
shows and stuff to,
no,
to
absolutely
take some kind of inspiration or some reference
true.
because in digital marketing, even when we are making contents and stuff, we're often using these pop culture references.
References.
So
Yeah,
I think on that regard, pop culture has helped us a lot as well when we are using
yeah,
these references for daily
true,
content or monthly or campaigns or whatever. I mean,
true.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, whenever we think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we are tying it to pizza. And, there are
Pizza.
so many
Yeah,
pizza brands,
pizza.
right now.
Right, right,
And
right,
I think
right.
a lot of pizza brands have also taken advantage of,
Yeah, yeah,
TNMT
yeah. Yep,
using
yep.
that reference and,
Right, right. True, 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 true. So yeah, definitely,
Hmm.
it's very important factor as well. When we started Jarvis, I think one of the biggest contributors in terms of how we were going to plan this out. We used to have initial meetings in my drawing rooms, and we used to be in different
Mhm.
cafes planning it out.
Yeah.
We used to draw the
Hmm.
logos. Adnan, our creative director and CEO, he was drawing out the logos of how it's going to be. We were getting designs from interior designers on how we wanted our office space to be. So some of it was like a long shot, like it was like a dream. Okay, yeah, we want this fancy office and all. And some we had to do some reality check as well when we're chalking out the investments. Okay, how much of money we are going to need? How much do we want to put up upfront, and how much of it do we want to spend in what segment and all?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
those were quite fun days, quite exciting. That all of the partners used to get together almost on a daily basis, since we were all working, had our working commitment somewhere else, in either in the business or I was personally working as well. So evening time was the most convenient time for us to get together. We were lucky to have one of the first hires of Jarvis. I think even before we got an office space, we had one of our first hires completed. We
Sajid.
have to mention his name, Sajid. Yeah, we have to
Sajid.
mention his name and his contribution as well. So so Sajid was there, and so it was like uh, almost like a family together. We were working towards it, and then obviously I think Abu he helped us out by giving his office space. In terms of we got the boardroom
Part of the space again. Basically, we had a conference room in our office, and so when we are talking about 500 square feet space in our brochures and stuff, so that place was measured as 500 square feet. So that's where we used to get together. And if I give you some pictures later on, you'll get to see that there were some garments, apparel, there were jute stuff. There are many different stuff. So no one would have ever been able to say that this is a digital marketing office or something.
Absolutely.
And the late night dinners and snacks, they were quite delicious. We used to order pizzas and shawarmas. So that was also part of the fun as well. I mean, we were working, but we were also ordering in from our favorite places. So it was a wonderful experience. The first 2 months or so. Was it the first 2 months or no? Or the first
I think
month,
we were there for about
I think Abdullah
a month or two. Yeah, we were there for a month or two.
Yeah.
I mean, there was not a single evening that none of us would get together. I mean, it was like more of like a hangout place for us, and obviously we all took our parts in doing what we needed to do to set it up. Abu was going out to client meetings. I was working behind the scenes with the planning and all. Adnan was helping out with how our brand collaterals would be like. And Omra was there. He was helping with the procurement and everything. AB was helping with the setup of the company
finance
and all.
And the company setups. Yeah.
Right. So everyone was busy rolling out like a sort of a dream project for us. And we were very hands-on. Like me, Omra, and Sajid, I have memories of driving down IDB for buying out the laptops and going to Elephant Road, buying the desktops, what we need and everything.
And I think Adnan would give us the specifications, right, for the laptops and stuff.
Adnan was he's still the IT guy for us in terms of our technology and all. So he used to give us the specs, and we used to go out and source it out. So everything was like sourced by us. It was not like we gave it out to some vendor and they got it. So I think that's where the fact that we've cherished those memories is much more, because everything had a value addition for us. Like even I remember buying cups, or like the office cups or the trays. Omra used to go out and buy those, the light bulbs and everything. So everything had our own touch. So that's why
do you remember the boss chairs we used to have? The boss chairs, Omar used to call them the boss chairs. Everyone would feel like a boss. So they were like humongous chairs, and every employee, every staff, they would feel like they're the king of the world. So that was the purpose of buying the big chairs back then.
Right. I think so those really helped build a very strong memory that acted as an inspiration as well, like how much of contribution everyone's putting in. I think that inspired everyone to give in that extra mile or for the success of the company. And from there on, obviously, from that board meeting room, we would just move next door. Abu had a spare apartment which was up for rent, and then we decided to rent that place out, and because two reasons. It was pretty close, convenient in terms of as a base to go out to all the client meetings. It was very near Gulshan and all. So that helped us out big time. That was the initial base, which we call our Jarvis space station. And that's where I think the whole family started to come together, and we started to grow as a team and as a brand as well. So I think that space had the biggest growth aspects from. So that's a bit about the space and the 500 square feet apartment, and then moving on.
I think we moved from 500 to 1200 maybe.
1200, yeah.
So we improved within 1 month. We moved to a bigger space within 1 month. But yeah,
Right,
it's
right,
great
right.
that we had a humble beginning, and since
Yeah.
then, I think we have picked up pretty much, and the spaceship is started from Earth, and now we have crossed the Milky Way and moving towards the
Mm.
next galaxy. I think that's the stage we're in right
True.
now.
And I think one of the things here is a key takeaway for any of the founders who are looking to start new businesses. I think one of the key takeaways is here how we were five partners, and everyone had a different opinion in terms of how we should be scaling things. For example, as I was saying, we had interior designers even pitching us ideas of how the office should be and everything. For me, I thought, okay, look, this looks like a great idea. But then other partners, they had a different priority list as well. And then through discussion, we were able to come to a point that, okay, yeah, so this works. I think our priority list should be rearranged, and this should be the list of priorities in terms of where should we be investing to scale up. So I think for young entrepreneurs, I think it's very important to keep the feet grounded and hear out all the views of different partners or the well-wishers as well, and so that you can scale it up slowly and invest in place where you see there is a sustainable growth, rather than just going in, investing like crazy, and then just come down crashing. So I think that's a very key takeaway from this.
That's a wonderful thing you said. I mean, if I were to rephrase it in some way, don't start with a bang. Don't start with an absolute bang.
Right.
Just start in a modest manner, and keep on moving towards your end goal in a modest fashion. And the work is going to come to you if people see that you're doing a great job, and your work is fine. So no amount of influence or lobbying is going to help you go over and be the number one or be the best. Your work is your work is your advertisement.
No, and absolutely agreed. And I think that's the theory that we tried to work around with. We believe that we had a great team. In terms of the leadership team, we had a great team, and even the people, our initial hires, they were also almost in line with the leadership views that we had, the dreams that we had. So we were very sure that the product and the services that we were going to introduce to the market was going to be pretty good, and so it wouldn't be. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a struggle of a new company, a new brand entering, so it would be definitely much more difficult for us to secure the work. But we were sure that we had the quality backing us as well. So that made things comparatively easier for us. Plus our own records also. I think our personal records also
background
had
stuff,
some good. Yeah, so that had some good backing as well. So that helped us as well to get our initial work. And what better work to get than Shakib? So he was the first brand that actually we approached to, and when we started out, we approached. There was discussions of whom we should be approaching, and I think one of the key areas we realized there was a gap in was celebrity branding in Bangladesh, and how Sachin has a brand of himself, and then Virat has a brand of himself, and then even Roger Federer and everyone, Messi, Ronaldo, everyone has a brand of themselves. But in Bangladesh, celebrities, they just they're playing, and they don't think about the long-term aspect of things, and they don't focus on building a brand for themselves. But we realized, I think, that if we are to approach someone, that would be Shakib bhai, that who has that aura, who has that brand image of himself, being the world's number one cricketer as well. He had the
star power even back then. Yeah.
Right. So it was for us a very obvious choice, but a very intimidating choice, because we were like, hey, we are just newbies. We are just newbies here. He wouldn't even probably give us time that who's this? Who are these guys? It's okay. I don't even want to meet them. But
Yeah.
I think that's where
Mhm.
I'd like to thank Chishti Bhai and Shahid Bhai.
Absolutely.
They gave us
Absolutely.
the platform when we pitched our
A
initial
launching pad
idea to
of
Chishti.
sorts. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When me, Adnan, Abu, we all went to Chishti Bhai and had our initial meeting, he was very enthusiastic. Personally, he always adored us as his younger brother. He still adores us as his younger brother.
Yeah.
But
Of course.
uh, he was super excited as well. He felt that yes, this is this is a vision that really goes hand in hand with Shakib, and it will help him stand out
Brand image.
and
Yeah.
create a brand for
Yeah.
himself. Yeah, and then
And I think after him,
yeah.
a lot more celebrities started to get in the branding game, right?
Right. No, undoubtedly.
Before him,
Yeah.
Facebook branding wasn't a very big thing. I mean, yeah, people had their pages and stuff, but
Right.
in terms of quality, getting more fans to like them, it wasn't really
Right.
there before Shakib Al Hasan's page, started getting that form of attention, I think.
Right.
And do you remember?
Yeah,
Do you
and,
remember when we went to pitch to him for the first time?
Yeah.
When we went to pitch to him, we were all pretty nervous, but we were also very excited as well. That
Yeah.
we will be seeing Shakib Al Hasan for the first time, and
Right,
instead of introducing ourselves on a personal level, we would be interacting with him in a professional manner. And then
Right.
you, me, and Adnan, we all pitched, and
Yeah.
I'm sure he got everything we were trying to tell him, but I think
Right.
eventually it turned out to be pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think obviously a lot of homework was done before that pitch, and I think still till date, I think that's one of my closest and favorite pitches that I ever made. Obviously, it was a dream for me because he's my favorite cricketer, so I gave that extra bit of effort as well in terms of that. But aside from that, the amount of research we did, the amount of effort we gave behind that, I think it was very easy for Shakib Bhai to imagine to imagine the vision that we showed to him. I think it was very easy for him to accept that, and that's
This
where
was
I think
November, right? November
this was
2014
November 2014
or December.
or December. Sometime around
He just
December.
finished.
The
He
first
just finished the series with Zimbabwe, maybe.
Yeah. The first post
During
went
that
on December 16th, 2014.
Yes.
We gave the first
Yes.
post. It was a Victory Day post we gave of
Yes.
Shakib.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, that was designed by that designer we had.
Nasir Bhai. Nasir Bhai or Zarif?
No. Zarif, yeah.
Talking
yeah.
about Zarif, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of our first hires as well, after
One
Sajid,
of
I
our
think,
first
yeah.
hires after Sajid.
Right. So Shakib Bhai was quite a fun experience, and I think that gave us a lot of confidence as well. That if we are able to pitch to the world's best cricketer, who meets on a daily basis simply the best of talents in across all fields almost, and if we're able to convince him with our creative skills and everything, I think that gave us a lot of confidence that okay, it shouldn't be an issue going out and pitching to different brands or even celebrities for that matter. And also one of the aspects of pitching to Shakib Al Hasan and handling his account was the fact that the word got out pretty quickly that there's a new agency in town and they are working with Shakib Al Hasan. And his platform was followed by almost every single person who were on social media in Bangladesh.
I think the platform had what 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs when we started out.
Yeah, it was the largest page.
Largest
yeah,
page
it was
back
the
then.
yeah 4 million almost. Yeah,
4 million.
So it was the largest page of Bangladesh back then, and so almost everyone was on the was linked to that page. And I think once people started seeing like, oh my god, the quality of the creatives that we were giving and the contents that we were publishing, I think people started noticing us, and so one thing was the personal excitement of being associated with the world's best all-rounder, and the second thing was it helped us in turn to show what the promise that we had. And so then it was comparatively an easier gateway for us to approach different brands. We were like, hey, okay, we want to come and talk to you guys. We handle the page of Shakib. And then since they saw our work before we even went and pitched to them or had the initial meeting, that definitely
Yeah.
helped us in as a
Big time.
conversation
That helped us
starter. I
big
think,
time.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But I would also like to
Absolutely.
take this opportunity to thank the people, the first clients we got. We would like to
Yeah.
thank them because back then we didn't have much of a portfolio to show
No,
them,
no, no,
and they
no,
ended up
no.
giving up. They ended up giving us their account and stuff. So they did us a great, a big favor back then,
No, no,
and we are
absolutely,
truly grateful.
absolutely.
We're truly grateful for that.
Yeah,
Even if some
yeah,
of the clients are not with us now, but still
yeah, yeah.
it was a
No,
great favor, they did back then.
definitely, definitely. I mean, trusting a
Yeah,
young agency is always very risky
yeah,
because you don't know, are they stable enough? Do they have the
mm,
manpower and all? But I
yeah,
guess our promise and promises that we gave, I think that got some of the brands uh, thinking
yeah.
about us, and some of them stepped on as well.
True.
Obviously, initial days, aside from Shakib Al Hassan, we had clients like the different cafes and restaurants as well. So it was definitely they had entrusted us with their brands, and so those
Yeah,
were the things which were very critical for us, that we gave the best effort in those work. So because that helped us build our portfolio that Abu just was talking about.
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
once the once the once our portfolio was starting to look good, um, and with a strong brand of Shakib, it was definitely much easier for us to go and approach some of the bigger names in the industry.